Well, I think it might be working. Yep, looks like it's working. Got some game noise. It's a little bit too loud. So in the past week, I've been having a lot of weird computer issues, and then I was sick, and I've missed a few streams, and then Fed has been super busy, so he's not been able to make the streams. So I haven't done anything, but today I'm gonna give a little bit of an update for anyone that is following, and hopefully you'll be able to see all of what's been going on. So I've got some nuclear going on. Here's 100 nuclear power plants. Pretty excited about it. Just hooked up the water. Got most of the processing for the uranium over here, at least the first stage. And before I really turn it on, I want to get the second stage processing so we can sink plutonium. So nuclear processing is pretty complicated. You got two big steps from uranium, which you can see, and I heard somebody call this lasagna factory. So the first step is you make these encased uranium cells. I've got everything but the uranium over here because I didn't want to have a whole lot of radiation as I built this monstrosity. And then the second stage is uranium fuel rods, and I've put together at least the crystal oscillators. Now I've got to deal with building electromagnetic control rods and rotors, and once I've got those in place, then start delivering uranium. That's not it. Start delivering uranium over here. We've got every uranium node on the map has already got a train station set up. I just don't have any trains transferring between them to here yet because I've been working on it. As you can see, it's a lot. Nuclear processing all of the uranium on the map is quite a lot of work. So probably won't walk through a lot of the steps of this, but before I do that, I got train problems. So apparently something crashed over here. I had some backup over here and then didn't pay attention to it. I haven't been on this world for a couple of days, but this runs on a dedicated server continually in the background and it's jittering some. I've also had some computer problems. I'm getting black screens from my video card. And I really like that not to be happening. So I've toned down frame rate because apparently that might be causing it, and then backed out to a much older video card driver because it's relatively new. I also got a new monitor, and it has a high frame rate, higher frame rate, so maybe that triggered it. I don't know what's been happening, but if I'm really, really unlucky, I'm gonna have to get a new video card. But hopefully the streaming shouldn't matter that much. In fact, I went and reinstalled everything, so I don't even know if my settings are right yet. So I'm gonna open up and see what it looks like over here to make sure that I'm not giving you an absolutely terrible view. Make sure that I'm not giving you an absolutely doesn't look to be absolutely terrible. Make sure that I'm not giving you an absolutely and hopefully all the sound balance is right. It may be a little quiet. Probably have to work on that. And hopefully all the sound balance on the physical aspect, or put some gain on this. Probably have to work on that. But I haven't quite got everything set back up yet, so or put some gain on this. We'll see what we got. But I haven't quite got everything set back up. All right. Also, didn't set that sound setting. Let's see, sound play. Also, didn't set that sound setting. Wow, I didn't know you could modify all this. Wow, I didn't know you could. Okay, I missed this. So I know there's a setting. Wow. Minimize. That's it. So cut that off. That way, when I tab out, it won't just drop off. So cut that off. That way, when I tab out, it won't just. I do still have my video settings really high, but I dropped this down to 60 so that. I do still have my video settings really high. So, fair warning on that. If I suddenly disappear and there's nothing there. So, that's what happened. The computer just goes black because video card fans go into overdrive. So, that's what happened. So, it's just goes black. Video card fans go into overdrive. Right. Looking at what's going on here, probably the crash is what caused. Looking at what's going on here, probably the crash is what caused. And we may have a problem with the drones because this is the area leading like the battery. I split all of the batteries out so that everything is going to two cycles. Because it seemed to be lagging. There seems to be a problem with video, or there seems to be a problem with dedicated server. Dedicated server and drones. So I spent some time working on this, but clearly whatever I did not work. Server and drones. So I spent some time working on investigate a little bit and hopefully resolve that. And then finish up on that. Investigate a little bit and hopefully resolve that. Nuclear. But I don't want to be running out of stuff. So first thing, yeah, I'm not getting sulfur here, so that's bad. Stuff. First thing, yeah, I'm not getting sulfur here. Not sure what this wreck is about. First thing, well, let's see where they hit. So if you're investigating a crash, you want to look at where they overlap. And so if you're investigating, all right, this is a common thing that I've run into. I have a path signal, and the path signal on both sides seems to work right, but I have a path signal. If they're not on the same level, the path signal can break. If they're not on the same cause problems. It doesn't think these two lines intersect, even though they clearly do. So this seems to me, it doesn't think these two lines intersect, like a problem with the way trains work, and for some reason, I can't hop in the locomotive. Like a problem with the way trains work. There we go. Okay, did it for a second. There we go. So I want to back this guy. There we go. Did it for a second. There we go. So I want to back. There's no collision happening. This one can start moving. There we go. So I want to back. No, there's no collision happening. This one can start moving. No, it's literally never had this problem. Collision happening. This one can start moving. Get in the train. I don't want to clip into the train. I'm going to drop out to the main menu and back in. Sometimes this fixes issues like this, and I only ever see these issues when I'm on the server, and I seem to see them more often when I'm streaming. So maybe a bandwidth thing. And I seem to see them more often. This is also my favorite tip in the game, so maybe a bandwidth thing. And I seem to see them more often. This is also my favorite tip in the game, so maybe a bandwidth thing. This is also alright, so we'll turn you back on. I'll get this one moving. Alright, so we'll turn you back on. Let's get this one going because maybe this is my sulfur. No. This one going because that one I think just crashed from air pressure. Maybe that's all. That is all. Then what I really need to do here is fix this intersection. And the basic way to fix an intersection that's crashing like this is just to make it flat. And the basic way to fix an intersection that's crashing. So we'll start out bringing up a platform. Start out kind of eyeballing where that should go. Bringing up a platform. Start out. Eyeball and that should go. I don't need that much of an intersection because I'm going relatively close. Just connecting from about here of an intersection because I'm going relatively close. Maybe a little further down from about here. Maybe a little further down. Are you yelling at me because there's a train there? Or are you yelling at me because it's not? Okay. Maybe we can connect this way without breaking the path. Okay. It seems to be working. So if you watch my, maybe we can connect this recent video about path signals. Seems to be working. So if you watch my, maybe we can the signal loops into itself issue. Signals. So if you watch my, you'll know why I have to back these up. Let's see, can I get that going? All right, so we got that signal here. Let's see, that signal here. That. Now I just want to exit. That signal here. Here, that. I just want to exit. And then, now that this intersection or
branch point is on a flat surface. Now this intersection, this should not collide anymore. It's on a flat surface. Now this intersection, this should not collide anymore. It's on a flat surface. I'm going to do my best to watch the chat here. I'm going to try to drag it over, but it doesn't like to stick. I'm going to do my best to watch the chat here. I'm going to try to drag it over, but it doesn't like to stick. I'm going to do my best to watch the chat. So then I miss chat. So if there's anybody here, please chat. Love to hear from you. So then I miss chat. And it's much better if I have somebody to talk to. That's why I have Fed around. I don't actually like him, but he talks a lot. So then I can talk to him. And it's much better later when he watches this. That's why I have Fed around. I don't actually like him, but he talks a lot. So then I can talk to him. He'll be very sad. And then later when he watches, that'll bring me some small amount of joy. He'll be very sad. And then later when he watches, that'll bring me. Now let's see if we have anything walking. Oh, good. We're good. All right. So the next potential problem. Now let's see if we have anything walking. Oh, items delivered here, but they seem to be getting consumed. Not quite at maximum rates. So that's a good sign. That items delivered here, but they seem to be getting consumed. This guy's moving. That's a good sign. This guy's working. So I renamed all of the drones because one of the issues with drones is this UI is kind of bad. Drones so you can see that I have an insufficient fuel in here, but I renamed them AAA. You can see that batteries. I have an insufficient, but then I thought I was being clever. I was going to name them AA and AAA, but then I couldn't find any of the AA. That's the subset of AAA. So then I named them AAA. The others Triple B. Then I couldn't find any of the AA. They're not good names. Then I named them AAA. Let's see. So starting from distro, I go to magnetic field generator. Magnetic field has batteries. It's going to HMF2. So starting is distro, insufficient fuel. So HMF2, here we come. So HMF2 fuel. So HMF2, here we come. HMF2. I forget where I put it. Is that here? Yeah, there's HMF2. So this will be. So another thing that's a problem on dedicated servers, all the train stations like to line up in the same spot. So another thing that's a problem on dedicated servers, all the train stations, almost all of them are right there somehow. Stations like to line up in the same spot. Another thing that's we'll take the train. Dedicated servers, all the trains, almost all of them are right there somehow. We'll take the train. Almost all of them are right there. Now, let's see, what did I call this thing? I might have just called this one HMF2, but now let's see, what did I call this thing? It's close to Big Copper. Coppertino. I might have just called this one after Coppertino, but let's see. It's a terrible name. I'm bad at naming. Copper. See, I'm very functional. It's trying to be creative with all the names over here, but I'm just super functional when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just need good. See, I'm saying I can put very harsh. It's trying to be creative with all the names. But I'm trying my hardest to be creative with names. This kind of stuff. So this one's going to take me. Actually, that's not the one I want to go. That is a different one. I'm trying to drop off for that. Oop. Well, I guess we're going to take me Coppertino after all to catch up to that train, because I can't hit the right key. Well, I guess we're going to take me Coppertino after all to catch up to that train, so we don't lock up all the copper. Actually, it doesn't really lock that copper. That copper is going to nuclear refinement, which is all saturated and not really lockable. So until I get those two interactions building, that copper is going to it doesn't. Saturated until I get those two interactions. In the meantime, let's see if I can add in and show you what I'm designing this. In the meantime, let's see if I can add in and show you what I'm designing this. So I've been using the Satisfactory Modeler app. If you haven't used Satisfactory Modeler, it's kind of awesome. So
So I've been using the Satisfactory modeler app. If you haven't used Satisfactory in the let's see if I can pull up Satisfactory modeler. Off the screen. Oh, that's not very useful. Let's try off the screen. Yeah, well, that didn't work. This is what I get for trying to add things on the fly. It's because I'm already streaming at this point. I've done this before with images. This is what I get for trying to add things on the fly. I'm gonna just try window capture. Because there's no audio, I don't need to get any of that. Images. That's better. Alright, so we'll talk about Satisfactory model. Window capture. There's no audio. I don't know if anyone will be able to see that. Better. Zoom in. Alright, so we'll talk about Satisfactory model. Window capture. Alright, so the Satisfactory modeler. I don't know if anyone will be able to see that. Better. Zoom in. Alright, so we'll talk about Satisfactory. Is kind of a cool app in my opinion. So it lets you lay out buildings and design crazy things. And so it's kind of a cool app. Here is my first stage nuclear. Lay out buildings and design crazy things. And so, oh no, that's second stage nuclear. Here's my first stage nuclear. Here's my first stage nuclear. Should be 100. And design crazy things. The output of this comes here. So there's 100 power plants. I've got all the water hooked up. Here's my first stage nuclear. Got this set of buildings done. The output of this. I think actually I'm almost finished with this. Got all the water hooked up. Here's my first stage. I'm building high-speed connectors, which are taking all of this stuff. And I think I'm building the rotors. So all I have to do is put those together. Building into this and then set up the all of this stuff. And rotors, sorry, stators and rotors. All I have to do is put those together. So I'm not that far away. So it's still quite a few buildings. But rotors, sorry, stators, not that much more. So almost there. So I'm not that far away. And then so it's still quite a few buildings. I have a full view of this. I've been deleting the things that I finished building, but the full view of this is over here. So there's a lot of things happening here, and almost all of it is coming from train stations. So I'm bringing in a lot of things, and there's a lot of things. I haven't even set up the train for the almost all of it. So it's a lot of work to do nuclear. Bringing in a lot of things, and there's a lot of things. All right, haven't even set up. Waiting on something. I'm waiting on me. That's a lot of work. Alright. Waiting on something. Waiting on me. So this was originally where I was doing nuclear pasta, and now it's strictly doing copper ingots. Factory. I do know it's over there. I do know it's over there. Hopefully, don't run out of power. Hopefully, don't run out of power. So I'm getting really close. Hey, guys, well, getting really close to the end of this. Really close game. Well, getting really close to the end of this. Really close. I'm basically extending it out. I'm having a lot of fun building trade buildings. And I know this started out as a beginner series, but hopefully it shows what you can do in the game. Hopefully it shows how you can go from practically nothing to just giant factories and crazy massive train stations. Giant factories and crazy massive train stations. Hopefully people watching have learned something. Hopefully people watching have learned something. Oh, also last week, a couple weeks ago, or maybe, I don't know. Oh, also last I wound up in YouTube Purgatory for some reason. I don't know. I released a new video and it was doing fine. And I released a new video and Belts video, as I'm calling it, Fast Manifolds video, was doing really well. Hit 15,000. Fast Manifolds video was doing really well. Hit 15,000. Fast Manifolds video. But all of a sudden the Manifold video just dropped to like fast. But all of a sudden the Manifold no views, like nobody was watching anymore. And YouTube had just stopped showing anything for about a week. Just had no impressions for about a week. We're just recommending any of my videos to anyone. And now it seems to be going back up again. So I have no idea. And now it seems to be going back up again too. So I have no idea. I'm okay with that. Anybody who does understand YouTube wants to explain it to me. Anybody who does understand it. So 3, aluminum is good. It's good for us. Laser is good. 3 is good. 4 is fluid tanks. 3 is good. Yeah, this should be bad. I think I can. The fluid tanks is in the middle of the forest and there's no train station to it, so I'm gonna have to fly to that in the middle of the forest and there's no train station to it, so I'm gonna have to fly to that. So when your trains mess up delivering your fuel, or delivering your supplies for your fuel, and then the batteries all dry up, or delivering your supplies for your fuel, it's no fun. So that's my big regret with this map, is that I didn't plan out my trains to be more efficient. Just kind of threw them down and connected them up. And as I did it, I learned a lot. So I did my first train Haynes video. Showing how to fix the signal loops into itself error, which is really annoying. I'm hoping some people found that useful. Alright. Didn't claim to be out of fuel. Claim to be out of fuel. But I've got a few others. The thing I just showed at the beginning. But I've got a few others. The stream, fixing. The thing I just showed at the beginning. But I've got a few others. A crash on the path signal like that. Always keep the path signals flat. Got a few others that I've run into. One of the worst ones was trains or train stations whose exit was on an incline. So I had some train stations in the south delivering fuel for the rocket fuel, which is a primary power source that I'm still using. And they were, it was just going into an immediate downhill. And then the trains would just stop. It didn't indicate any reason why they couldn't move forward. They just weren't moving. They had access to the particular track, and nothing was blocking it. There was nothing in the way, and they just wouldn't go. Eventually, I just had to say, "Oh, this is clearly a bug. Something is wrong. I don't know why it's working this way, but something is clearly a bug. Something is wrong." And I'm going to just put a little bit of extra track so that the signal wasn't right on the incline. After the signal, there was a little bit of flat rail. After the signal, and that little bit of flat rail, that got me moving again, and they haven't plugged up since. So here's another one again for the plugged up since. So train pains series. So I've got like 3-4 things lined up for that. If anybody has some weird train issues and wants to understand better, go watch that video. Leave comments. I want to be helpful. And if you've got a problem I haven't seen before, I think somebody had a comment. I don't quite understand the geometry they were describing, but still love to see it. See if I can figure anything out with it. Try to reproduce it. Still love to see it. See if I can figure anything out with it. Still love to see it. Right, a battery peak or radar peak batteries. The radar peak batteries. So far so good on not crashing. I think if I talk about crashing, so far so good on not crashing. Claim that it's doing well, then it'll trigger it. Claim that it's doing well. If it's not triggering it, then maybe rolling back my driver fixed it. If it's not triggering it, then maybe rolling back my driver fixed it. I don't know why you put something over here. Such a weird place in here. So he's sending drones for a very small amount of crystals to make some of the automated weaponry stuff.
have some fuel. The good thing is, like, these delivery things still have fuel, so it's just
Good
these
thing is,
that
like,
haven't been
these
moving.
delivery things still have fuel, so
It's just
good thing is, like,
we
we
got
got
on
on
AAA. One more fused frames. Where's the fused frames from here?
One more fused frames. Where's the flag?
Yeah, I can see it from here. Yeah, I can see it from here. Do wish OBS would tell me how many people are watching this at once. Do wish OBS would tell me. The only other way I know to do it is just to load up YouTube videos. The only other way I know to have myself as an actor. Load up YouTube videos. The only other way I know to have myself as an actor. So if anybody's watching, please comment. Just say hi. So if anybody's watching, please comment. Just say hi. So if anybody's watching, please comment. Just say hi. Alright, so that should clear up. Alright, AAA circuit. Clear up. Get them running again. AAA circuit. Get them running. Maintenance are doing space elevator, central storage module, close together. Central storage module. Well, let's just go here, because that's going to be the easiest place to get to it. Let's just go here, because that's going to be the easiest place to get to it. Space elevator is just about as far away as I can get. So we'll hop space elevator is just about as far away as I can get. So we'll hop. Another thing I wish I did was build more hypertubes. Another thing I wish I did was build more. I like the trains so much. Another thing I wish I did. It's fun to just kind of watch and relaxing. But when you've got these problems with kind of watch and relaxing, you've got these problems with your drone stations. It's just yes, drone stations. It's just another change I made is this was originally sending. Another change I made. Nitrogen. This was the fused frames down. And I found another nitrogen that was doing a little less, and it was that one. Another nitrogen. And that nitrogen is going into the nuclear plant for that nitrogen is second stage. Second stage function for uranium, plutonium. Once we get the plutonium, initially I'm just going to sink the plutonium. Once we get the plutonium to get rid of it, so initially I'm just going to sink the plutonium. But, you know, but for the yucks, I think it'd be nice to see what it would take to get all of the plutonium waste. See what it would take into all of the plutonium fixonium. That will give me 75 more power cents. Right, that will give me 75 more power cents. I did actually plot it out. I do know that you can do it. I did actually enough materials, but it's another annoyance because SAM. I did actually enough materials, but it's another. You have to get pretty much all of the SAM in one place, or at least you have to get pretty much all of most of the SAM in this place to actually create the fixonium fuel. And you have to get a lot of the. It requires a lot of aluminum. And you have to get a lot of the ingots to make fixite trigons as well. There's a lot there, and fixite trigon. You can make it simpler. There's a lot of summer slips, but you can make it simpler. Still, it's a ridiculous amount of items. Still, ridiculous items. And another thing I want to do before I'm done with this world is repair the aluminum factory. I started working on it. I'm going to do a video show. I started working to change the aluminum factory. Now we're going to do other videos to change the aluminum. Put together to explain all the stuff that I'm going to do to fix it and explain all the stuff. Sorry, aluminum. I'm going to tap over and take a look at my plan here. To get the fixonium here, to get the fixonium. We got too much stuff in this. We got too much stuff in this. Okay, we're almost to the space elevator, so I'll wait until I'm moving on to the central storage to show you this. Space elevator, so I'll wait until I'm moving on to the central storage to show you this. Space elevator, so I'll wait until I'm moving on to the central storage. But Fixonium fuel is really expensive. Fixonium fuel is expensive. It said central storage, I think. It's space elevator. It said central storage. Still recovering. Safety not here. Step like that. Still recovering. Safety not here. Step like that. Still recovering.
I really wish you could dismantle these a lot sooner. Or, I really wish you could dismantle these a lot sooner. You had some sort of vehicle that could travel on the tracks. You had some sort of automated, so you didn't have to submit it yourself. But then you could go off-road or off-track and then jump back out off-road, off-track. And you have to keep rebuilding the thing. You need batteries. Central storage, here we come. And storage, here we go. Here we go. Scale this, see if it fits. Scale this, see if it fits. There we go. It's going to be a little bit of a seat size. Here we go. Basically, we need almost 5,000 sand, which isn't terrible. And 5,000 deliver it in, which isn't basically. So what you do is take package sand first, send it over. We do a lot of package sand first. It's not too many. 25. This is also not. But then you also have all of this mess. 2,500 fixed trigons. 2,500 fixed trigons. So one way we could maybe make this better, at least reduce this, is if I focus the... One way we could maybe make this better. Summer sloops on fixed trigons. That would be nice. And then I've got them here because these only require one, but that's still 18 plus 6. So I got 24 here, another 3 here, summer sloops, and another 14 or so here. And then I've got them here because these only require one, but that's still 18. Yeah, so that's a lot. I've also got some for copper, but I don't really know if I 3 here, and another 14 or so here. Yeah, so even using all the summer sloops, it still uses quite a bit. This 833 is definitely not as bad. So that's a lot. I've also got some for copper, so that might be doable. then maybe I don't need them here. So I don't know if I'm using all the probably I still uses quite a bit, but that would just double this, I think. So that wouldn't still wouldn't be that bad. I think I have enough units for that. I got 12,000. So maybe we can for here. Some I would just double this drone ports. Still well enough to drop off. Some drone ports still drop off. Yeah, there's still drone ports. Battery. Battery. This is the last one I need to do, right? Yeah. Last one. And we're all back up. And I was getting a backup of batteries too, so this will be fun. Auto save and one. And I was getting a backup of batteries too, so this will be fun. Alright, we'll drive through the aluminum on the way to nuclear probably and see some of what's going on. I don't want to spoil everything, but I know I've shown the giant belt monster. I'm going to replace that giant belt monster with a different breed of belt monster. And we'll drive through the aluminum. Also rebuilt this intersection. I was getting a backup box and this so this world has been running running pretty much continuous since the last lecture this intersection. So one of the things I'm going to do is check out the this world has been running scene. That's the last lecture. I think all those platforms there are alongside. So one of the things is check out the efficiencies. It's not 100% efficient. Let's take a look at some other stuff. So this is for massive. It's the biggest thing in the world. And I still have more to come. So there's going to be stations afterwards. Actually, 75 more that's expensive. How much is there? So this is 75 years almost. And the most annoying things I've heard of nuclear power is not these buildings, but the water. Situation of the blueprint and water restricted blueprints. Most of them, the closest I got was putting exploders. The blueprint, so that I could put those down first. It was the lines between water restricted blueprints. But also, so those down first. I really want to build nice massive. You see the super creative developers. Make these really cool looking buildings that are so sci-fi and so just dragging. It's mine all looks like Akron, Ohio or something. It's just like great, terrible architecture. Just business buildings. It's like I said, functional. Got extended by one to get the aluminum casings, but I do like this transition. They color coded and set everything up. I've got extended by one to get the built what I think is a reasonable outgoing interchange that won't clog. Incoming, I don't have too much of a problem with, but outgoing is so hopefully this is smooth enough. Build what I think is a reasonable. So you don't want to put all of these paths running into each other and then back out the same loop, because then you're going to have the incoming trains blocked by the outgoing trains. And when you get that, that's where you get those deadlocks like that. So you don't want to have all of these paths running mostly out. The deadlocks out. Other than that crash thing. Couldn't have been too long ago. That's where but all of this is running underneath, and I'm trying to turn most sort of a logistics lux out. Organizational. All of this is running underneath, trying to most sort of a logistics lux out. I still have to wire some of these copper. This whole thing has a lot of complicated, still have to wire some of these logistics to it. And one of the things that I'm pretty sure I've invented something fairly new. This whole thing, it's making it a lot easier to put this stuff together is what I'm calling, I mean, it's a bus. One of the things in some sense that it was inspired a little bit by Factorio, at least I haven't played very much Factorio. Watched some Factorio, but inspired a little bit by Factorio and a little bit by a mod. It's a bus. In some sense, that was attempting to make sort of a flat delivery for man of watched some Factorio that you have built, but running horizontally, and then you put a mod. And gonna be doing this in more detail as we eventually. It's not getting any deliveries, so I don't know. There's something wrong with it. It may just be. Sometimes splitters don't work right with this talking more detail as eventually. Yeah, that looks like it should be. There's something wrong with that. Okay, so it seems to be a problem with this. So if I make all of these, maybe it'll work right. But what it's basically doing is these belts are delivering the items. I've got 10 lanes. Oh, I see what the problem was. There's multiples. Connections. Auto connect. Supposed to. So each of these lanes has its own delivery from the train. And then on the top, I've got splitters. These splitters overflow along the length of big belts, and then drop their items down into the lift. The lift goes into a merger, which has a merger for the middle, so it pulls items from the furthest belt and delivers them all the way down onto calling a feeder belt. Then the feeder belt just keeps delivering items, and every so often on the feeder belt I have another small splitter that's pulling items off.
And then those items go off to wherever it is I need items. Calling a feeder belt. And the feeder belt just keeps delivering items so often. And the result is I can basically power a manifold or a number of items. Those items. So it's like having a manifold that's basically power manifold, in this case, whatever, and so 12,000 copper. One more. So it's like having a manifold that's basically power 12,000 copper. Oh, that's still the same. Let's see. There we go. Get all the way down now. Yep. And then I may keep this going. This really can only supply 9,000 because that's what the factory that's delivering it is doing. And I don't quite need 9,000, so it should. And then I may keep this going. Never really can only have any problem. 9,000. So the only drawback that you have is you can only deliver 1,200 at a time on these belts, but this will draw 1,200 up to whatever is needed at the other end. So this one's not hooked up right. It needs to go up here. So the only drawback that I took them out and rebuilding some of these sections to use this will draw 1,200 plus whatever is needed at the other end. So this one's not hooked up right. And so it's delivered across another one of these, so I've got two of these bus feed sections. This one's maybe a little easier to see what's going on. So here I'm bringing them in at the top. I built this one, I think by the end. It's delivered across the other one of these, so I've got two of these bus feed sections. This one's maybe a little easier to see. Same deal. And you can build it in a couple of configurations. If you like having the belts on the ground, you can put the splitters on the ground and you can put the merger on top. Either way. And then these are being delivered on here. And when this was running, when it started up, if you like having this all of these. So each section of this is taking, so there's 5, so whatever. And these are being delivered on here. And when this was running, it starts up. So less than 500. Obviously, you can't divide that number evenly into 1,200, so you can't just make a splitter. And then when you subtract off those items, each time you want to kind of add some back in, so that the next one can pull items out. So each one of these only pulls the items it needs. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can't just make a splitter. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these. So add some back. Got that many, 2,800, which is less than, but more than 2, but less than 3 full belts worth of items. 6. So I couldn't deliver those items any more efficiently than this. Or at least this is the most, well, less than, but more than 2, but less than. I plan to do a video on how it works in more detail and how to build your own and put it together. So if you need more of this kind of thing, look for that. Or at least this is the most, well, less than. It's more than 2. I plan to do a video on how it works in more detail. How to build your own and put it together. On the wrong belts. I'm gonna have to rebuild a lot of this. Wah wah. So this is not supposed to be delivering copper. This is supposed to be delivering electromagnetic control rods and rotors. So this is not supposed to be delivering copper. This is supposed to be delivering. I don't think I'm even going to use this when I get to the final version. Electromagnetic control rods and rotors. Back all this out and connect it where it's supposed to be. I don't think I'm even going to use this. If I mentioned I really don't like these. Back all this out and connect it. Conveyor poles. Here's a mod I want for anybody that's into modding. just don't build conveyor poles. If I mentioned I really don't like this, just let my belts float. Or really think the conveyor poles are necessary for whatever reason, just don't want to have them, or at least have them disassemble along with the belts. Without use. Or I always wind up with small conveyor support for whatever reason, just don't want to have them. Craft disassemble along with the belts. It's a huge pain without use. That's the thing. Here are all the huge pains. Here's this game that I absolutely love. And I do absolutely love this game. There's so much good stuff. It's just when there's these little quality life issues, they tend to stand out so much more because so much of the game is just so good. And I do absolutely love this game. There's so much good stuff. It's just when there's these another one is you do place down conveyor poles so much more. It always goes this direction. Sometimes I want to go the other direction and I can't reverse it. There's no way to reverse it. It would be nice if you could reverse. Coming off another one is you do place down conveyor poles. It always goes this direction. Sometimes I want to go the other direction. Reverse it. Another one is you place that now. That's pointing nothing. That's now put those in the right paths. And I'm gonna have to go fix my screw for the rest of this. Now put those in the right paths. And I will do that later. I'm not gonna do that right now, but I do want to show the massive nuclear power plant station. So, and I will do that. We did this with a blueprint as well. So I made this blueprint setup. So it was a lot easier to place these and auto connect, especially down below. This is really where all the hard work would be. Is connecting up all these belts. So there's an input belt made this should send in the fuel, and an output belt to collect up all of the waste. And then I'm going to use probably 3 station push-pull trains to drop off fuel, pick up waste, and take the fuel back to the place. Maybe wind up 4 once I if I decide to make actual plutonium airplanes, I'll probably do and take the fuel back to. I just have to wind up train system, but basically one of these is set up. This is the unload for fuel. So the fuel comes in here. I'll probably do it goes in through the splitter. It's a smart splitter because this is expecting 50 fuel per minute, and I'm only making 50 fuel per minute. It's going to be a tight fit. So because of that, what I'm going to do is deliver their smart splitters all the way down this path. So we'll start with this first section. So the smart splitter is set up to, so because of that, overflow to the right, deliver into the middle. Smart splitters all the way down this one. This path overflows forward and sends any. So this one goes first. So we'll develop that guy and that guy. So because of that, overflows all the way down the line. And then they'll start filling up from here, on down the line, and so on forward. So this, they're all connected via these big and that power tower platforms. As you can see, we're actually getting close to all the way down the line capacity, and then they'll start filling up from here. Nowhere near the max consumption. It's close to capacity. It's relatively smooth, big power tower So I've just got enough room, I think, to finish off the production of fuel. Once fuel production is in gear, we'll start delivering to this guy who will then presumably continue to burn fuel. Right, so it's going to deliver, I think, to finish off the 6,000 megawatts, and what we're looking at, let's see, right now is start delivering. So that should then jump us up by considerable amount. So it's going to deliver, it's like 5%. So 6,000 megawatts, and what we're looking at, that should be good. So 5% times 100, that should, or 500% jump us up by 5x the power that we're making right now. Once this is all up, and that should cover us to the end of the game. We can do pretty much anything with this. That should be good. That's 5% way more power than we really need. My first 500% jump game, I think I did 3 power plants. And that was enough to do everything I wanted. So this is all. And that should cover us to the end of the game. We can do pretty much anything with this. That should be good. That's 5% way more power than we really need. My first 500% game, I think I did 3 power plants. That was enough to do. So I think this will be a short stream. I'm going to jump off of here and figure out how to fix my screw up with the copper ingots. And I'm going to aim for another stream next week. I just wanted to come up. And so I think this will be a short stream. I'm going to give something up here since it's been a little while. And last week I was going to do it, but I was not feeling very well. And I figured it was way better. I didn't. I'm going to aim for another stream next week. I just wanted to come up. So I think hopefully we'll be able to get it on with Fed next week with nuclear power. Hopefully all the refining will be set up. And then I can turn this giant power plant on. I'm not going to turn it on until the next stream, so I really hope it's next week because I'm going to have a lot else to do because I'm so close to finishing this with all the refining. But for those of you who came, dropped in, thanks for coming. Leave some comments, ask some questions, watch some videos. I love the interaction. I really like talking to people who have questions or even arguing about why things I'm doing are really stupid. Maybe they are. I don't care. But I like to talk about it. So thank you very much for all the support for anybody that's watching. And I will see you in a week. Maybe I'll have a video up before then about why things I'm doing are stupid. Maybe they are.